Hey guys, Leanne here on GradysMom. Today I was just randomly inspired to do this video. I didn't have it written down. I don't have any notes. It's kind of like a freestyle video, and what inspired me to do this video is, I've talked about this before, the number one question I get more than any other question, both from letters you guys write me in my P.O. box, to emails, to comments, just in general, the number one question I get is, how do you stay so organized? How do you cook every night? How do you keep your house so clean? How do you still manage to have your own time and balance a social life and, taking care of everything in the home and stay so organized? And, that's the number one question that I get, in so many words. And I wanted to touch base on that because I wanted to start off by saying I wasn't always this organized. I've come into a routine that works for me. Before I had my son, I was nowhere near this organized because I just went with the flow. I was kid-free. My husband and I were both working. We had, a double income, no kids. We were pretty much living on easy street. We could cook, I could cook and we could eat dinner whenever we wanted. If I wanted to go out with friends or errands or whatever I wanted, I was on my own agenda. And you guys know who have kids how much having kids changes that. You're no longer on your own agenda. You're on your kid's agenda, your kid's schedule, whether it is a newborn that's on a feeding and a nap schedule, or older kids that have school things or sports or whatever the case may be. Kids change that easy street life. So it was a big adjustment for me at age 30, becoming a mom. Also, another adjustment for me was going from working my whole life. I worked since I was 14 years old, which was the legal age to work in New York. All the way, I was just, between work and college. I always worked. Sometimes I had 2 to 3 jobs. So it was a huge adjustment for me going from no kids, no responsibilities as far as kids were concerned, and having a weekly paycheck. So I went from that to the complete opposite of having no paycheck, and my time was not my time anymore. It all revolved around my son, Grady. So pretty much when I had Grady, I had a huge reality check. I was depressed, down. It was a really hard adjustment for me. It wasn't just all flowers and rainbows and this is great. It was a harsh reality check for me because I was used to having my own money, making my own schedule, doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And that all changed. As most of you guys know, who went from the same situation of having no kids and a full-time job or a career to having no career and having kids. So some of you guys are in the same boat as I am. So what really clicked for me when Grady was little, a newborn, was I just wasn't anywhere like I was now. Now let me say, I always had in me the ability to be domestic and organized, and I always knew how to cook and all of that. So I did have that going for me. But what I didn't have down was a set routine or schedule. Because again, going back to what I said, I was always living on my, own agenda, making my own, what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it. And that was no longer once I became a mom. So I really had to, about 4 years ago when Grady was little, sit down and really come up with a game plan. Because before Grady, my husband and I would go out to eat at least 2 nights a week, sometimes 3 nights a week. We would go out to lunch every weekend. Sometimes we'd sleep in, till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock a.m. on the weekends and go out to breakfast. That's all gone now. We don't do that anymore. We don't go out to breakfast. I couldn't even tell you the last time we went out to breakfast. When we go out to dinner, it's on a very rare occasion. Maybe it's a get-together with friends or a special occasion. But we really don't go out to dinner that much. And those who have been following me know that just from my meal planning and the things that I've talked about. So when Grady was little, I had to start finding ways, to budget, because going from 2 solid incomes to 1 was a huge reality check. So the number one thing that worked for me budget-wise was meal planning and sticking to it. Now that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I'm still not perfect. I write a meal plan and sometimes I make half of those meals and then the other half will be something that wasn't even on the meal plan. But the point is, if you have a meal plan, when you go grocery shopping, you buy the things that are on your meal plan so that you can stick to a budget and you're not saying, oh, I don't feel like cooking tonight, let's order a pizza, or let's go out and get takeout, or whatever the case may be. Sticking to a meal plan really can save you time and money, and it also is fulfilling, for me at least. I know not everybody loves to cook. To be able to make a meal plan, buy the groceries for it, and actually follow through and cook a meal for your family, I don't know, but for me, something about that is really fulfilling. So meal planning was a big thing that helped me both stick to a budget and feel more organized, because with meal planning too, sometimes you have leftovers, which for me come in very handy when I'm, home the next day, Grady's at school, and I can just pull something out of my fridge, heat it up, and there is a meal that's healthy. I'm not going out to a drive-thru and getting fast food. So that's really helped me, the meal planning, in a lot of aspects. It's affected my life in a lot of ways. So meal planning is a big thing. This video is going to be kind of all over. I'm just kind of talking from the top of my head. Another thing that really has helped me personally is setting a bedtime for myself. I think I've touched on this in a previous video from last year. It might sound silly to give yourself, a grown adult, a bedtime. But for me, it's changed my life, because before Grady, I would go to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on a weeknight, get up the next day and go to work like it was no big deal. Now, that's all changed. I go to bed now at 10 o'clock or 10:30 at the absolute latest. Usually, guys, even on the weekends, because I'm the kind of person, I love to sleep and I need my sleep. There are people that don't need as much sleep as I do. I need to have a minimum of like 6 hours of sleep a night. When Grady was little, that was out the door. I would get, you guys know how it is when your kids are little. When I was nursing, when he was little, I would be lucky to get 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. Obviously, things get better as your kids get older. But for me right now, what's worked for me is giving myself that bedtime and sticking to it, because I can't function if I haven't gotten any sleep. Some people can. I give you guys all the credit in the world for those moms out there who can. I'm not one of those moms. I have to have my 6 hours of sleep, which really isn't that much. But that is what works and helps me wake up in the morning and be able to be productive and have a productive day. Another thing that has worked for me is just keeping focused on the things that I need to get done. And a lot of multitasking. So, for example, whenever you know how you guys get like piles of stuff built up, whatever the case, everybody has a different situation in their home. Like, sometimes your kitchen counter is your catch-all. Sometimes it could be your bedroom that's your catch-all. And what I mean by that is, if you have a pile of stuff in your kitchen that needs to go somewhere else, or a pile of stuff in your bedroom, or a pile of stuff in your garage, anywhere, and it's just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, it can drive you mad. And the key is, don't let yourself get so far behind on keeping organized, because if you let yourself get so far behind, it's going to feel overwhelming and you're going to just want to give up. You have to just constantly stay on top of things, not to the point where you're stressing yourself out, but it just helps to focus on small little tasks that will make your life easier. So I try to remember when I'm leaving a room, or I'm going upstairs or going downstairs, if there's something that needs to go up or down and I'm going that direction, take it up there, put it away. It takes 30 seconds to grab a few things off the kitchen counter, run upstairs, put them away. And it's just those small things like that that add up and make your life feel less chaotic. Another tip I can give you is, don't expect everything. If you have this vision in your mind of how you want your life to be, as far as organizing in your home and your kids and the way you want to run your household, don't expect it to happen overnight, because it won't happen for you. It didn't happen for me. I don't know anybody that said they woke up one day and said, I'm going to change my life overnight. It just doesn't happen. And you just have to take small steps to getting to the big picture. So honestly, I've said it before, get a piece of paper, get a pen when you have 5-10 minutes here and there, or if something pops into your mind randomly, you could be stopped at a red light. As soon as you can, write it down, because I'll forget. If I remember something or have a great idea, I have to write it down somehow, whether it's a note on my phone, a note on a piece of paper, or chances are I could forget it. So all these little tidbits that you're thinking about that you want to do and organize and get your life in order, write it down and make a priority list. So if you have 20 things on a list that you want to accomplish or improve in your life, number those 20 things off in the order of importance to you. What's the most important thing to you on that list? And then just work on that. And once you've mastered that, what's the number 2 thing on your list? And just move down the list And eventually, I promise you guys, if you stay focused and you look at the big picture of how you want things to be, it will eventually come together. It will become like second nature and you won't feel so overwhelmed. But you can't expect to do everything and change everything overnight. You have to work on one thing at a time and get it into a routine where it's comfortable for you, and then start moving down your list. So hopefully some of this rambling helps you or gives you some insight on how and what worked for me. I realize everybody has a different situation. Some of my subscribers have kids that are grown and out of the house, and maybe now you're, having your grandkids in your life. Some of my subscribers have no kids. Some have multiple kids. We all are in different situations and different phases of your life. So I realize the things that all worked for me might not be an option for you. But my point is, take the things that are important to you personally and figure out a way to make them come together and make them work. Because, like I said, we all have different situations. So your life is different than mine, and my life is different than everybody else's. So just work one by one on what's important to you, and I'm hoping and praying that it will all just come together for you, because I know when it clicked for me, I was a happier person. I was less stressed out. Yes, it is hard work. I'm not going to sit here and say it's so easy. It comes so easy to me. It's leisurely. It's not. It's hard work. I have to stay focused. I have to know what I need to do, what do I need to accomplish, and I need to just follow through with it. And it's a constant cycle. I'm always moving ahead. I'm always thinking forward, and that's pretty much the best advice I can give to you. I love doing these kind of videos because I know they do help some people to take aspects of your own life and work it into a routine for you. So if you guys want to see very specific videos like this on specific things, like how I manage this or how I manage my household that way, just comment down below and let me know. And I would also love if you guys would comment down below and maybe help out another mom or another woman that reads, a lot of you guys read through the comments. I love helping people. I love people that also love to help people. So don't be shy to comment down below and give a tip to another mom out there. Maybe what worked for you or what didn't work for you, or if you're still a work in progress. I love reading all your comments. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.